Hello everyone, welcome back to Nanbai. This is me Ankita, and today we're going to make something super duper easy. Now as you can see, there's no stand mixer, there's no hand mixer. So what are we making today? We are making apple pie. So apple pie is just a short crust dough and apple filling. Now this is one of my most favorite to-go desserts. One is very easy and quick to make, and it is utterly delicious. Like, it's just really good, and the ingredients are such that they're always at home. I always have apples, I always have butter, flour, sugar, so it's really easy to make if I'm craving something sweet. Talking a little bit about this dough, as you can see, there is no egg here, so this is an eggless recipe. The filling also does not have egg. Now the dough comes together pretty quickly, so I'm just going to dump the flour, sugar and salt in this bowl here. And then I have this butter cut in tiny little cubes. Now it is important that the butter is cut in cubes, and it has to be very cold, because we are going to rub the butter like this into the flour with our hands. So if the butter isn't cold, it will melt instantly. We don't want melted butter in our dough. So before I took this out for making the dough, I did keep it in the freezer for about 20 minutes because I want it to be really cold. And even the water it's iced water, so that is also like super duper cool. Basically the butter and water have to be really cold for the dough. And then we'll make the dough and then put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to make the apple filling, which is again super easy. And then roll the dough out, cut small circles, fill it with apple, cover it, and then bake it. Really easy. The end result is absolutely yummy. So without any delay, let's quickly take a look at all our ingredients, and then we get to making our dough. So I have a big bowl here, and I'm gonna just dump this flour, all of it obviously, and salt, sugar, just whisk it in. Now at this stage, I'm going to start rubbing the butter in. Now the butter is nicely mixed in. You can see, look at this. Now you can't see the butter chunks as such, and the texture is like that for sand, right? Let's take a closer look. See, this is what it looks like. So when I rub it in, it looks very much like a sand. So this is exactly what we're looking for, so that this mixture looks great. And at this point, I'm going to add water. Now water, I'm going to add little by little, not dump the whole of it. Basically, we just want the dough to come together. As when you do this, it should not fall apart like it is right now, but it should just come together, hold itself together. So this looks perfect, and I'm going to take the water out of the refrigerator and add it little by little. that's it. So I'm going to wrap it up in plastic, cling wrap. Now the reason I'm flattening it a little more rather than making one round big ball is one, it'll cool down faster, and two, when I want to roll it out, it'll be easy for me to roll it down. So that's it. Wrap it up and into the refrigerator for 30 minutes. So now the dough is chilling in the fridge. In the meantime, we're going to prepare our apple filling. So I have one apple here. You can take any apple. You can take green apple or red apple or any kind of apple you like, really. I have these ones at home right now, so I'm using this one. And then butter, sugar, lemon juice, cinnamon and nutmeg. So very easy. I'm going to peel and chop the apple, put it in this bowl, toss it in lemon juice and the spices, and then put it in a pan along with butter and sugar and just cook it till it's just a little tender. That's it. That's how easy it is. So, but there is a special trick that I'm going to show you how to peel and decode an apple so that it looks pretty. I'm going to go around from on the top first, like this, and then the same thing in the bottom. And then go vertically this way. And then slice it in half. Now, to take these out, a lot of apple gets wasted. Even when I'm eating them, I usually decode it in the very same process. So I'm using a melon baller. If you don't have this at home, you could just use a spoon or even the tip of your small paring knife. I'm just going to use this. So using the bigger side, go inside and there. It's all out. And that's all we have, no wastage. Same thing I'm going to do with the other one. There it is. And remove this little stick. And from the smaller side of the melon baller, I'm going to go straight to remove this part of the apple. And then this part. So we have our nice clean apple. So now I'm going to use my small knife and cut them in small pieces. Then the butter in the pan. Now we'll let this melt before we add the sugar. So if you see, when I insert this knife into this, it's getting in easily, but it's not breaking the apple piece apart. So press it in, it's going in easily, but it's not breaking completely. So that's all we want. Now turn the heat off and let this cool, and then we'll fill up our hand pies. So the dough is nice and firm and I can start rolling it out. I have the filling ready, it's nice and cool. Now I'm going to roll it out to about, 1/4 of an inch thickness, and then cut it with the cookie cutter in circles, and one will be for the bottom and one will be for the top. That is, I have one round, put some apple filling on it, and then cover it with another round. So I'm using this cookie cutter. If you don't have a cookie cutter, you could just use a little katori, that's totally okay. So I'm using a cookie cutter, and apple fillings there, and I have some flour because I'm going to dust the surface with some flour before I start rolling it so it doesn't stick to the surface. So let's start. So all done, the runs are cut, and I have the apple filling. I'm going to start putting it in. I do have some water in this bowl here because I'm going to put it on the sides so I can stick the top, to this properly. And that's it. Let's start filling it up. I have been munching on this filling for a while. Let's hope we have enough. The filling is really, really good. So I'm going to start with little filling since I'm not sure if I have enough really. Let's see. So that's it. Now I'm going to just take a fork and push it down, and it will also give it a little design. And then with the paring knife, just make a little slit. Why? Because we want the steam to evaporate when it's baking. If you don't make that, they'll split open from the sides, which we don't want. So I'm just going to make a little slit, and then we put them in the oven. Okay? So that's it. Now at this point, if you want, you can egg wash the pies. It gives it a very nice shine and they brown beautifully from the top if you egg wash it. Now today, because we're making completely eggless recipe, so I'm not going to egg wash it. If you're not using egg, there are other alternatives. You could brush it with melted butter, or you could use milk, or these two things work pretty well with pies especially. So I'm not going to glaze it with anything. I'll just put it in the oven as it is, and I will start with 20 minutes and then see how long it takes. Also, the oven, I preheated the oven to like a 375 degrees Fahrenheit, which is also around 191 degrees Celsius. So I put it for 20 minutes and then I'll see how long it takes. So these little gorgeous parcels are out of the oven. It took about 30 minutes to finish these up. One thing, this is hand pies are very rustic looking. So if you see this little cinnamon juice popping out of some of the pies, that's how it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna let it cool down and then we'll taste the hand pies. So these are cool enough that I can taste one. Trust me, this has been a really hard wait because I've been so tempted to eat these, but they're really, really hot when they come out of the oven. And the apple filling is like, it can burn your mouth, so I had to wait. Anyways, so I'm gonna cut this open and oh my god, look at this. This is beautiful. This is so nice. I don't know if you can see, but if you can see the flakiness of the dough, it's so nice and crumbly and short, like you can see the crumbs here. So I'm going to taste one of these. It's so good. Very, very nice. So I didn't make a really big batch. As you can see, I just got 8 hand pies in total, and really easy to make, absolutely delicious, and you can have it with your evening tea or coffee. It's not even very heavy and sweet. It's actually very light and not too sweet in your mouth as well. So try out this recipe. It's a really easy one, and let me know how it goes. And I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of these. Really, I can't wait to finish this up. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and happy baking.